Welcome to episode 1, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing what does regeneration actually mean. We have my mom here and wonderful Christian Limoges. Let's get into it. So question number 1 that we have, which we'll be discussing is, we hear the word healing everywhere clinically. What is regeneration truly from your perspective?
I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Well,
Ladies first.
I'm coming from the movement and exercise background as well as osteopathic background. And regeneration is basically the body's ability to regenerate, to start from scratch, to be reborn. This is even in religions, be reborn, born again. We have cells that are dying all the time and replenishing. But the body's ability to do that is innate. And so what we want to try and do is to see if we can allow the body to do what it just needs to do, to regenerate, to be reborn again.
Yes.
Every day.
Beautiful answer.
Oh, I thank you.
You're welcome. So from a naturopathic point of view, it's your body is like about 50, 60, or 70 trillion cells. And the cells are bathing mostly in fluid. So your body is more liquid than solid. And the cells are like fed by, there's two liquids. You have the blood and you have the lymph. The blood is the kitchen because the blood has the ability to bring the nutrients and the oxygen to the cells. And then the cells are like doing their, like talking, they do their task, and then they're producing cellular waste. So you have trillions of cells peeing and pooing inside of your body on a daily basis, eliminating cellular waste. So then you have another liquid, and the other liquid is the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is the sewage system of the human body. So you have the blood being the kitchen, and then you have the lymphatic system being the sewage. And then the sewage is circulating because you move. In order to move your lymphatic system, you need to move your body. And then the lymphatic system is moving, collecting the waste, removing the waste, and brings the waste to the 4 channels of elimination. So your body has 4 channels of elimination, which are the biggest organs of the human anatomy. So the bowels, the kidneys, the lungs, and the skin. And then it brings the waste to the 4 channels of elimination. And then the 4 channels of elimination are going to eliminate the waste. And then as the cells are bathing in clean and alkaline and oxygenated fluid, they can regenerate. So right now inside of my body, I have millions and trillions of cells that are dying. But at the same time, my body is regenerating new cells. This is done if my body is capable of doing it. And what makes my body capable of doing it is to keep my body internally clean.
Yes.
If I'm internally clean, my body regenerates.
And I think there's a false belief that certain tissues can't regenerate.
Absolutely.
Do you think that there's tissues in our body that can't regenerate?
No, of course not, because your body is made up of cells. All of your tissues are alive, and all of the cells are alive. Like you have, like I said, 50s. When I was studying in the beginning of like 1980s, we used to say 20 trillion. Now we say 70 trillion. I know that it's much more than that. So you have heart cells, liver cells, skin cells, bone cells, ligament cells. So your whole body is made up of cells. And they're living individuals inside of you. So your body can regenerate absolutely everything.
Yeah. Cartilage, heart,
everything.
Nervous,
everything,
brain.
everything.
One thing I like that you said though, which I find so true, and you see it, throughout nature, is the body needs to be moving in order for it to function and eliminate properly. Because you look at if you see a pond, like your body, if it's standing still, if all the liquid's standing still, it creates bugs come, it's things, stagnation, fermenting, all that stuff. But you look at a river or an ocean or a beautiful stream that continuously is moving and flowing, then things can...
It cleans itself.
It cleans itself,
yes.
Exactly.
And in fact, Andrew T. Still, who's the founder of osteopathy, uses those words in his books and his teaching. That's how he was teaching osteopaths. You need to flush the system. The rivers have to keep flowing.
Yeah.
To us, the artery, what he used to say is one of our tenets, was the artery is absolute. If you cannot get the rivers flowing, forget trying to help regeneration.
Exactly.
You want that tissue to heal. You got to keep the rivers flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, we see nature all around. You know, a lot of the wisdom I feel we're looking for to know see how our own body works. We see it everywhere through nature, and I find that really really beautiful.
Yeah, same laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I come from an architectural background, which is interesting. I was an artist and wanted to be an artist. I studied architecture, and then my master's, I studied an engineer called Calatrava, who studied nature, studied anatomy to build his bridges. And that's where I got my intrigue. Now that I'm working with the body, I understand nature's structure, how things are meant to be built because of they're the most efficient but yet beautiful structures. And so if we can build always according to nature, we're on the right track.
Absolutely.
I think, eh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, wonderful. So we'll move into question number 2 that we have actually. So from a naturopathic lens, what systems must be online for regeneration to occur, from your perspective?
Well, the cells are like communicating to each other. So the thing is that in our mind, we look at the body and we think that the body is different systems. And this is because of the way we think. We've been brought up like thinking that, like we're separating things. But in reality, when you look at the cells don't know that there are heart cells or liver cells or stomach cells or muscle cells. They're just a community of living individuals. Yeah. And they're working all together. So it's all the system. The body cannot be separated. This is just the way we talk. We talk, and because we want the person to understand, I'm going to talk about your heart. I'm going to talk about your liver. But there's no such thing as different system working by themselves. It's all together. It's the same thing as nature. When you said, by looking at nature, we see that everything is working together. The body is exactly the same thing. You are the manifestation of the universal mind. Like everything else is the manifestation of universal mind, and everything is communicating with everything all the time.
Yeah.
So you cannot look at different systems. You just need to have a good way of living that is making your body like getting what it needs. And the body, when it gets what it needs, the body is able to regenerate and heal by itself. So your body is a biological, organic, living, intelligent, full of wisdom machine, capable of self-healing, self-regenerating, and self-rebuilding.
That's interesting that you put it that way, because society as a whole looks at things in pieces and parts, and we get so stuck on these parts that we forget that we are part, as you said, universal mind. It's not just what's within, but without as well, and they communicate internally and externally. We can be specific about one little system in the body, but we forget how it works with everything else as an orchestra.
But even in our own lives, I feel that if we only focus on one aspect of our lives and put all of our focus in one aspect, whether it's only eating cleanly and nothing else, or only focusing on our business and nothing else, or only exercising and nothing else, like sure we're not even going to reach the full potential, I feel, of that aspect, because we're not utilizing the whole system of our life in a sense. That, like, I feel once everything we do everything as whole systems, everything can grow even more exponentially.
Absolutely.
And that's called balance, or homeostasis, as I like to call it. Yeah.
It's everything with everything, and we really, really need to get that it's the body that heals. So I just need to give my body what it needs. So I don't need to understand what is healing. My body knows.
Yes.
I just need to give my body what it needs, and then my body will just do it.
Yes. I love one conversation we were having last time of you were saying that the body is already built perfect. We don't have to do or add anything for it to heal or get better, whatever. It's actually just getting rid of the things that are stopping it from healing.
In fact, it's very often about removing what's actually harming. Because what you're doing then is taking off the layers that has hidden the light that you are, has hidden the perfection that you actually are. You're just taking off all the burden that you're placing on this system. But the light is just hidden under a cover. The minute you take all the garbage off,
exactly, the garbage off. Yeah, the garbage.
So no
off.
matter what kind of even diet, the paleo diet, this diet, that diet, well, most of the time you've just removed all the garbage. That's all you've done. That's why you're healing. It's not the diet that healed you. You've just removed the garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like we are the light. We think of a light bulb. We're the light bulb. If we have the light is always there, but we can cover it with, you know, a lampshade. Then we can cover it with a blanket. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the light. The light's not functioning properly. No, we just need to remove the things that are covering it.
Yeah. Nobody worries about specific systems about this planet. The planet regenerates itself. Look what happened during COVID.
Yeah.
We just removed all the harm.
Yeah.
Right? And all of a sudden, coral was starting to come back.
Yeah.
Everything was starting to regenerate on its own.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Okay, so another question that we have here. Oh, there we go. So from a movement perspective, how does structure influence the body's ability to regenerate? I really like this question.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that question. So when you start to move, I'm speaking from my own experience here. Like, I started as a movement instructor, right? And we're just trying to get fit all the time. But yet, I was very fit. I was a bodybuilder, a power lifter, aerobics instructor, teaching 25 classes a week. But I was always sick.
Yeah.
I was chronically sick. We were talking about this before. I had stomach aches, I had ear infections, I had sinus infections, headaches, lethargy, brain fog, IBS, you name it. I had a lot, but whatever. But then I started studying. Went into osteopathy. You start to understand how the body is one system. It's not different parts. And I started looking at the body differently even when I was teaching. Instead of looking from the outside in, I was seeing a body now from the inside out. And all the time, in Pilates, for example, even in yoga, pranayama, breath, the breath is the key of life. Why Pilates taught you need to do breath first? Because that diaphragm, those lungs are what guide the heart, guide the brain, guide the nervous system and nervous system regulation. So if you can start by the breath alone, fixing that, there's a lot of people doing breath work. It's so popular right now. Have you done some traumatic? But I went to several breathwork seminars. I even became a practitioner, breathwork practitioner. But people are doing this strong breath work for hours on end, but they're not breathing correctly. So what are they actually doing to the system? They're hurting the system. It's almost too much of a shock. First, you have to allow the breath to actually open up and learn how to breathe properly. So structure, if you're collapsed, if you're rotated, if you've got, I don't know, any other kind of issue, spinal-wise or ribcage-wise, diaphragm-wise, having given birth and have pelvic floor issues can mess up how you breathe. Just being pregnant messes up your diaphragm. All of a sudden, you can't breathe. Let's get the structure straight so that the lungs can breathe. Let's get the structure straight so that the heart can have some room to function. I had heart palpitations. I ended up in hospital. They gave me beta blockers, or tried to. I refused them. And they wanted to give me an ablation, which is a surgery to zap the node of my heart. I refused. Why? Because I learned in osteopathy that no, structure and function work together. So all I did the work. A lot of people, do you find they don't want to do the work?
But I feel like it's also, sometimes people don't necessarily want to do the work, but I feel like maybe, this is just my own perspective, maybe it's because they don't necessarily aren't 100% sure that it can work out or that it will change, because very often we're willing to go through what we call more pain or struggle or work if we know that there's going to be a true benefit at the end. So a guaranteed benefit at the end, and then the work doesn't feel like work. We're more excited about it if we're exercising and we know that we're going to increase in muscle or look better or feel better. Like sure, it's hard, but there's almost a joy at the same time.
But it's the instant gratification issue. It's take the pill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it takes time for me to unwind my fascia, to open up my rib cage, to unlock my spine, to correct my pelvis so that my organs can sit straight, so that my ovary can actually have a menstrual cycle with my uterus, for example. There's women who are teenage girls that are struggling with menstruation pain and all kinds of, there's infertility. You just put that pelvis straight, all of a sudden those organs, reproductive organs, can breathe. All of a sudden they're getting pregnant. All of a sudden they can have regular menses. You know, so, and that goes with everything, even mental health. I mean, you must see that a lot with mental health in your office, eh?
Absolutely.
Just cleaning up the body, you can clear the brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Whole systems. Yeah. And I think this is actually a really good topic to go into the next question, which is, can someone be exercising regularly and still not be regenerating?
I was an example. Have you seen that in your office?
Yeah, of course, a lot. You know, when you don't think about it, like inside of your body, you have like cells. Everything is like cells are together. They're making like organs and glands and muscles and bones and tissues. And there's no empty space inside of my body. There's no empty space. And my body has a rhythm. Like nature has a rhythm. There is a rhythm inside of me. Just my heart beating is creating a rhythm inside of my body all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine there's no empty space. Now I start eating the wrong food. I'm stressed out. I'm not digesting well. I'm not eliminating well. I'm not moving. My blood is stagnant. My lymphatic system is not moving. I'm always sitting down. And then my body starts accumulating waste. So just visualize it. You start accumulating waste, but waste takes space. But there's no space. Okay? There's no space. So if I'm jumping, I don't feel my organs moving because everything is touching each other in a very, very harmonious way. Very, 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 very well. And I'm mostly liquid. So if I play football and somebody is like hitting me, it's mostly my liquid that gets the hurt. Boom, that gets the hit. So there is a movement. But then suddenly I start accumulating waste. Waste takes space. So then I start getting pressure inside of my body. Then I start having like my bowels are like getting bloated. So then when they're getting bloated, they're putting pressure on my lower back. They're putting pressure on my liver, on my stomach, on my pancreas. They're putting pressure even on my kidneys. They're even putting pressure on my arteries that are bringing the blood to my cells because it's like stepping on a hose. So then slowly my body becomes like congested big time. Congestion, accumulating waste are obstructions inside of the body. Obstructions are obstructing my fluids to circulate well. So then I have no more movement inside of my body. I'm like you said, stagnant water, no movement. There's no rapids. It's no movement. Everything is getting stuck. And then there's no more movement inside of my body. My cells are not being fed anymore because the blood cannot get there.
Mm-hmm.
My lymphatic system can no longer go there and remove the toxins. My cells are like bathing in stagnant fluid full of toxins. You need to move.
Yeah.
You need to move.
And like in nature, this is a whole other discussion, but you see the stagnant water in nature. We see the ponds, and when we see ponds, stagnant water, oh, that's where all the bugs love to come, have a party, you know, start making babies. That's a whole conversation for another time, I feel.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have the medical doctors telling people not to move.
Yeah.
You have arthritis in your neck, don't move.
Yeah.
You know, baby it.
Yeah.
That happened actually to my uncle. He came to visit. It was the first day I was seeing him. Opened the door, hi. He's like this, and then he turns like this, and then he turns like that. And I'm like, what happened to your neck? You can't turn your head. He goes, I have arthritis, not good. And I said, okay, but like, he goes, no, doctor said don't move it. It's better don't move it. Well, now you don't move the neck. Joints are supposed to move. What pushes fluid? Movement.
Yeah.
Right? Muscles contracting. So I'm like, oh, okay. What's going on with your neck? So he gave me this whole spiel. And I said, at the time, I was a student. I was still studying osteopathy. But we're allowed to treat. So I treat with the small techniques that we learn. And they're just gentle, eh? Very often the gentlest stuff that does the big difference. 1 hour on the table, neck, upper back, shoulders, get him to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, starts to move.
Starts to move. No more pain. One little small thing. Now, if a small thing can create so much benefit, why are the doctors, why are people telling people not to move, to baby it, to protect it? Even the casts now, they don't put casts that are long-term anymore. They finally learn. They're putting boots that you can take off. They're saying wiggle your toes a little bit when you fracture gently, but, you know, all with being careful, but still.
Bringing in movement.
Movement.
Even if it's gently.
But the whole point now is, why are you moving? Are you moving to get fit? Or are you moving to be resilient? That's my question.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're standing all day as a cashier at the restaurant, at the shop, are you fit enough? Are you resilient enough to withstand standing for 8 hours? Can your body cope? They're getting fit running all day long or doing their marathons or doing I don't know what bodybuilding, but they can't stand for 8 hours. So now think of your health. Work from the inside out, to me, rather than the outside in.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
But I was just thinking about your question, you know, like when people say, when you were saying people are not like ready to do the work. Me, I think that they're not ready to do the work because they don't know. They don't know how amazing their body is. This is like perfection. This is the result of millions of years of evolution. And this is the manifestation of consciousness. And this body is much more intelligent than your brain. Your brain is just getting data. Your body, your cells are the manifestation of consciousness. The whole knowledge of the universe is in each and every cell of your body. So when people say, I'm not ready to do that kind of work, it's because they don't understand that the body can regenerate by itself. Me, I've seen people sometimes, you know, like they come to see me because like, you know, people are asking them to come to see me. So I've seen guys sometimes, they were like this, you know. And the guy was like with a heart problem or a skin problem, whatever. And as I was explaining the whole body, then I was seeing their eyes opening up. And then it was no longer like this arrogant, like they were like amazed of the body, knowing how the body works, knowing how it's important to keep your body fluids clean. By keeping your body fluids clean, your cells can manifest their full potential like fish in an aquarium. If the water is in good shape, the fish is in good shape too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then at the end they were saying, oh, tell me what to do, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, they see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
they see that it's going to do
They
something.
don't know. They think that their body is against them when they get sick. Sometimes they look at me and they say, Christian, if I could change my body. What? Your body is telling you that you don't know how to live. This is what a symptom is. It's your body texting you a feeling to tell you that you're not conscious of what you're doing. So your body is your conscious, it's your instrument of consciousness. You're not conscious. Your body is like telling you like to come back in the moment and be conscious about the way you live that is not giving your body what it needs.
Yes.
Yes.
So your body is always healthy. Think about it. It's because your body is healthy that your body is communicating with you symptoms.
Yeah.
You're always healthy.
Yeah, and that's the yeah, exactly, and that's the thing I feel is sometimes, you know, it'd be good to listen to our body and really become more conscious and aware of what our body is telling us.
Exactly.
And even I remember you were telling me the dogs in Italy, the dogs that you would have, they knew when they were sick, they would not eat.
Yeah.
They would know when to fast themselves. They would know when to eat grass.
They would eat
something.
herbs.
They would eat herbs.
They wouldn't eat the regular food. And guess what? They feed dogs in Italy. Eh?
Yeah.
We were cooking pasta for them.
Yeah,
It was a dog pasta.
Yeah.
But they were eating pasta.
Yeah.
And they would put themselves on fasts. They would eat only fruit. They used to jump up and grab the fruit from the fruit tree, eat the grass, and then when they were, and they'd vomit, and diarrhea and all kinds.
Absolutely.
Sorry for the, you know.
Yeah. But
it is what it is.
It's cleansing.
It's cleansing. Once they were clean, they would go back to eating the regular food.
Yeah.
So interesting.
And don't forget that you used to be like that, and I used to be like that.
Exactly.
When we're young and we're sick, we don't want to eat. When my kids were young, I was like offering them like what they love, and they would say like they would go like, "I don't want that stuff."
But we force
Just-
them because no, you're not.
But yeah,
you're not
because
gonna get better.
we're afraid, fear factor always, you know.
Here, breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's stuff your face. Lunch. Let's stuff your face. Here, you want a snack? Okay, dinner time. Let's stuff your face again.
And to listen to the symptoms, as you said, that those symptoms aren't something bad and something happening to you. That's how we see it. And we think we have to go look externally, but we're too scared to look within. We're too scared because we're facing ourselves. C'est pas le fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's great benefit. Again, to people, so,
huge.
You know.
But you go back, you come back in the moment. You're no longer in the past or the future in your stories. And me, I think that people are afraid of doing the work because they're completely controlled by their fears.
Yes. And again, fear, I feel is there's, you know, what fear and courage, let's say. Fear, I feel, is darkness, you know. Fear is ignorance. We can only have fear, I personally feel, if there's a lie that we're believing that we think is true in our mind, or we're just simply ignorant to we're simply ignorant to some form of knowledge. And once we understand, we realize that the fear made no sense.
It was false.
Yeah, it was false. It
Yeah.
just wasn't
Absolutely.
true or something. And then once we have more knowledge, we learn more about ourselves, then we'll go through and there'll be no more fear.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Your body never makes a mistake. Never. Your body cannot make a mistake.
Yeah.
Your body is just responding to your way of life.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I mean, after all this, what do you find blocks regeneration most in modern humans?
Just like smooth transition
Yeah, I
there.
know. It's like-
Well, I think exactly what you just said. It's your way of life. What are you doing to block regeneration? And your body, in fact, doesn't get blocked from regenerating. It's always regenerating. It's always doing the right thing. It's always keeping you alive.
Yeah.
Cancer. Thank you, cancer. We don't see it that way. And some people get really offended when we speak like that. But, you know, any ailment is your body trying to push the crap out.
Exactly. And
It's always trying to regenerate.
Like one thing that I absolutely loved, you know, that we were talking about is you were saying, okay, when people say, oh, there's side effects for something, or oh, I'm getting a rash or something, oh, this is bad, I need to get rid of the rash. Yeah. No, that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. It's actually your body telling you, look, there's something that's wrong. That's why this is here, and to actually look at it instead of just trying to, you know, cover up the rash. And you know, it's all signals from our body.
But then again, you know, I'm coming from a fitness world. You know, I always loved to move, but I was always an athlete, so I wanted to push hard. And for me, you know, going into the bodybuilding, powerlifting world, when I already hurt my back when I was 12 years old, had herniated disc, had sciatica growing up through all my teens, I got stronger. But what did I have to wear to bodybuild?
A belt.
A belt.
A belt.
I couldn't squat. My knees started, you know, falling apart. So, you know, what do I have to do to regenerate? I wasn't regenerating there. I was only doing harm. I was making my body worse. I was still unstable in my spine. Then comes Pilates. And a teacher at the gym I used to work and train, she goes, Samya, your back is bad. You're all built and beautiful. Everybody wants your body. The guys used to come up to me in the gym. Christian, they used to come up. I want legs like yours. I don't know if I should have been offended by that. Not sure, but whatever. I'm like, good. But then the Pilates teacher goes, Samya, you should do Pilates to fix your back. I was like, oh, foofy, fluffy stuff. No. I push weights, me, you know, ego. Anyway, I went to a fitness conference. I did this Pilates class by a famous Pilates teacher who's worldwide now. I went in that class with back pain. I left that class an hour and a half later with no back pain. I had chronic back pain at that time. So I was blown away. I was like, okay, we did nothing. We sat on the floor. We did these little thing. Like, nothing. My back pain went away. That's when I woke up.
Yeah. But I mean, so let's say that though that there's someone watching this and they're currently, have a routine and they go to the gym, let's say, and they're lifting heavy and they're there 3, 5, 6 days a week right now, and they're listening to this and they're like, look, are you saying that the training I'm doing is bad and I need to stop doing that everything right now? From your perspective, since you have so much experience in this now, what's one way that you feel people can start to incorporate more, what's the word? Well, I'll say more healthy or regenerating ways of working out, if that makes sense, rather than instead of doing ways that could potentially damage their body and actually be degenerative over the long term.
Well, if you look at, let's go back to the caveman days for a second. They were cut, they were ripped, like, they were muscular, they were strong. They weren't lifting weights, they were just doing the day-to-day, right? They were just living, but they were active. They weren't doing Pilates and yoga and so on and so forth. Now, I don't know about the injuries that they had back then. I mean, apparently they dig up stuff and they find herniated discs and they find actual injuries that kill you, like they've been stabbed.
When you're fighting a dinosaur, maybe sometimes.
A tiger tried to bite me the other day.
But to answer your question more clearly, fine, if you want to go to the gym, make sure you're moving in a way that's one, biomechanically sound. So you're moving in a way that the joint actually should move. Yeah. Right? You're not straining the joint, therefore your technique is good. So you have to be taught by somebody who understands biomechanics. So you don't put more strain on, let's say you do a squat. The squat is probably one of the most important movements that you should be able to do. You want to be able to sit to stand. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Or vice versa. So can you do that without hyperextending your spine, or I don't know, hyperextending in the knee, or just using not your core, right? Or just not breathing. So can you move in a way that's functional? Yeah. And then use the softer techniques, which are the much more powerful techniques, in my opinion, because they actually wake up the system to regenerate. They put you in they calm your nervous system down, so they put you in a state where you're capable of regenerating. But use it in balance with everything else that you want to do. If you want to go run marathons, you want to go sprint, you want to go, do something else that's quite challenging on the body, then make sure you're counteracting that. Mm-hmm.
And also, from my perspective, is also exercising and listening to our body while we're also exercising. Because again, like there was a period, I was going to the gym 6 days a week. And at one point I realized, okay, let's say I'm lifting this weight or something, and I'm not stopping because my muscles are tired. I'm stopping this set because my joints are hurting. And there was a point where my joints started hurting more than my muscles were getting tired. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just going and injuring myself, So it's, I feel listening to our body and being more consciously aware of what it's telling us. That's what helped me,
But can you move while you're breathing properly? Are you breathing properly while you move? One. Are you eating in a way that's actually providing what you need to be able to give you the energy that you need to do, to be able to help your joints function properly?
Mm-hmm. Think about, if you have a knee problem and your knee is full of waste. Okay, I used to have a teacher, his name was Paul C. Braggs, and he used to say, where you have the problem, it's because you have a constipation problem. Constipation means that your fluids are full of waste. Yeah. And when the joint wants to move, there's so much friction because of the waste that you have accumulated in your knee that when you move, you create the friction and it creates inflammation. Yeah. So this body, in order to move well, one of my teachers used to say, Christian, when your body is clean, your body moves without noise. So when people are moving and it cracks and everything, it's because there's congestion.
It's so good. It's like a well-oiled.
So it's not fluid. You're 75% fluid. Think about it. Your body has been designed to move in all kinds of ways. I'm telling you. Think about when we're young. We sleep in all kinds of ways. Do we wake up in the morning with a sore neck or a sore back? It's because there's no waste. But when you sleep and your body is toxic, dirty, and your fluids are not moving for 8 hours while you're in your bed, you become stagnant like crazy. When you wake up in the morning, you have a hard time waking up because everything has accumulated in all of the joints where you have like too much accumulation of waste.
Yeah.
So me, what I'm telling people when they come to see me, I've seen like NHL players, like NFL players, clean your body. When you clean your body, you start to move. The joint has the space to move.
Exactly.
There's
And
no
even just
waste
hydration.
blocking it or like stocking it or like creating friction and inflammation. People are loaded with inflammation. It's because you're stuck in your joints.
Yeah.
You have waste.
Exactly. It's like don't need to.
So clean your body, eat the food that fits your species. They're eating protein, protein, protein. Protein is acidic. The cause of inflammation is acid. The more protein you eat, the more you get inflamed. That's why everybody is inflamed.
But it's not only the food, I was just saying it's hydration.
Hydration also.
So many people are in pain because they're not hydrated. And they're drinking water that is actually damaging them, dehydrating them even more because of all the stuff that's in the water.
Yeah.
Mineralize your water. Get that water into the cell. Try it and move so that your body can actually pump the fluid in and out of the tissues.
Yeah, exactly. Clean water.
Clean water, but clean water on the inside as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say something else. Can
You
I?
don't have to raise your hand.
Okay. This skin is very, very elastic. So think about like your envelope is a skin, and then you have all of your bones and your muscles, organs, cells inside of your body, 75% fluid, and then you're accumulating waste. So then, because you're accumulating waste, then the skin is getting tighter. So if you take a sausage, think about like a sausage. If the sausage is empty, it just bends in all kinds of ways. But if you start like filling up with like a lot of stuff, then it gets stuck and it doesn't bend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say, you know, like I don't bend like I used to, it's because of my age. Excuse me, not it's because of your age, it's because your body is toxic.
You're an overstuffed
You have too
sausage.
much obstruction. And what I want to say also is that my skin is my biggest organ of elimination. This is the largest organ of elimination of the body. 98 million skin pores. 98 millions. Small windows eliminating toxin. People are wearing clothes made with plastic and polyester. That's what I
Closing the
wanted to
windows.
say. So you're closing the windows, and they say breathable. It cannot breathe. It's made with petroleum. It cannot breathe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's another way people are like blocking their skin pores, and they don't know that they don't know. They don't know that they don't know.
Yep.
The information is not out there, and people are wondering how come I'm getting sick. It's because they don't know what they're doing.
It's not even the clothes, it's just the lotions that they're
The
using.
lotions.
The hair products that they're
Yeah,
using.
cosmetics and everything
That's
for
right.
women, like
Yeah.
oil every morning, blocking the skin pores. Non-stop. We go against the body, and then we wonder how come the body is sending us non-stop symptoms. It's because we're doing wrong, and we don't know.
But also to listen to the symptoms, even if, let's say you're healthy, okay? But also, especially for women, where we have cycles, and when you're still going through your cycles, every single week of the month is different. Like you literally have to listen to your body in that week relative to the hormonal cascade that's happening inside your body. And you should train or work out and live and eat according to that. But we're not educated about that. We're not educated at all. Women don't know their bodies whatsoever.
Until now.
Well, there's a beautiful book called The Woman's Wisdom, Woman's Health, or something like that. It's a big, thick book. But at least they're trying to wake women up to what's going on. But if you can adjust and not just have the same thing all the time, not listening to your body whatsoever, but, in certain parts of the cycle, maybe we shouldn't be pushing so hard. Maybe we should be actually resting more, and vice versa. When our hormones are up here, maybe we should be pushing a little harder because now we have the power. Let's get the strength there. I don't have to be challenging my system all the time. Rest.
Nature, we have action and we have rest. We have day, we have night. The river is sometimes really chill. Sometimes there's a ton of waves. It's
Yes.
all the wisdom we're looking for. I feel
Actually,
in nature.
one of the reasons why we can block regeneration is a lack of rest.
Yeah.
People are like go
Yeah.
all the time, and we've been taught that way. You know, you need to go.
Achieve.
Yeah.
Achieve.
The nervous system gets exhausted, and the body cannot regenerate because you're always in a survival mode.
Yeah.
You cannot regenerate when your body is stressed out.
Mhm. But if we rest, then we realize sometimes slower,
Yeah.
smoother,
Yeah.
can be faster.
Yeah.
You know?
But rest includes sleep.
Yeah,
It includes fasting,
yeah,
right? We rest from screens.
yeah.
There's many ways to rest.
Mhm.
Rest your muscle tissue from doing always the same thing. Rest your eyes, your
Yeah.
ears, what you listen to.
Yeah, sometimes people are resting and they're like smoking a cigarette or like resting and drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And they say, I'm resting right now. I'm taking, but no, you're drinking caffeine. Your body is
Stimulant.
stressed out.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Like resting is really like to just go into your bubble, you know, and you just breathe in and out and you just do this for 5, 10, 15 minutes and your body regenerates.
I have people, when I was teaching classes, especially the yoga, you know, the Shavasana at the end, there's people who walk out right before Shavasana because they're like, I don't need that. I'm like, that's the most important part of the class.
Absolutely.
What's the saying? A lot of yoga teachers, it's like, oh, if you feel you need to get up, you know, during that, then you actually
Means
need
you
it the
need it.
most. You need it the most. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think we're
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this was a wonderful episode 1.
High five.
I learned a lot.
High five.
I love these
High five, man.
conversations. I
Yeah.
hope this was of benefit to whoever may be watching at the moment.
Yeah.
And yes, we will see you in episode number 2.
Thank you for joining us on the Metriz Dialogues. If this conversation shifted the way you think, then please share it with somebody that you think might benefit. And if you're thinking of diving deeper into your own regenerative process, or maybe you're thinking about advanced movement education, then please go to our website at studiometriz.com and we'll see you there.